Hey guys, it's Liv here, bringing you guys another video on the channel, of course. Today I was going to do fix your shinies, however I didn't have enough ideas for shinies I wanted to fix for Christmas theme, so instead we're going to be doing the Wants to Battle 2020 challenge. So I was actually tagged by YouTuber King Krabz. His video link will be down below, make sure to check him out. But the tag itself was done by BirdKeeperToby. I believe he's done this for, I want to say 5-6 years at this point. I know it's been a lot of these that he's done, and every year he comes up with some pretty good questions. I've done a couple of these myself in the past. I think I did it in 2016 or 2017, and I know I've done it at least one other time. However, of course, this will be the first one on the new channel, so that'll be pretty dope. It's the first one that'll actually have remotely attractive visuals for. So if you guys do enjoy this, of course, leave a like down below. And with that said, let's get into it. So for anyone who doesn't know how this works, basically there's 6 questions plus a 7th question, which is tagging 3 people. So I will go through the questions, I will answer them as best as I can, and then I will tag 3 people. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So question 1 is, what is the best Pokemon of 2020? And this isn't necessarily my favorite. It basically, how it's supposed to be is, what Pokemon will 2020 look back on? And I'll answer this in 2 ways. I'll answer this first particularly to the channel, and then I will answer this as a general scale. So I think 2020 for the channel will be the year of Blossom, because Blossom was the UBL round 1 pick for pick 15 overall, but round 1 for us. And it was not free agented ever, and it actually did a lot of work in a couple games. Brought us to semifinals. So you know what? I think that this is the year of Blossom. And you know what? On that note, 2021 is going to be the year of Cherrim. I have already said it. I will be drafting this mod at some point. It will be in a springtime league though, because it's a springtime Pokemon. So some point in the spring, look out for Cherrim. It's going to be tearing up whatever draft league I upload in the spring. In terms of a general community scale, however, I want to say Regieleki. I'm going to say Regieleki. 2019 would have been Dracovish, because of all the Dracovish hype, and then when the Crown Tundra came out, Regieleki was literally like the Pokemon of the DLC. It was basically like Dracovish Light. So I'm going to say Regieleki for 2020, community wide, but for channel wise, it would be Blossom. Definitely year of Blossom. Question 2. What is the best video that I have made this year? So if we look at the videos that I have made this year, I think it's a good question. What is the best video that I have made this year? So I'm currently looking through my channel actually, and I'm trying to see what video, because I'll be honest, I kind of had an answer, but I'm no longer as prepared with that answer. So I want to say, you know what, actually, I think I know what I'm gonna pick. So I would say that the best video I made this year, I thought it was a really cool video actually. Well, it was nothing too unique. The best video I made this year would have to be the video where I broke down where I broke down just in general if Calyrex should be suspect tested, and it's the one that obviously performed the best. But I think in general, it was the first time I really tackled a video like that, discussing anything on the Uber's ladder, less so like a draft sort of thing, let alone even outside of an OU sort of thing. It was a pretty cool thumbnail, albeit I've made some better ones since, but it was a pretty cool one nonetheless. I think that it was just really done well. It wasn't anything too flashy, but at the same time though, it wasn't anything that could have really been I guess what I'm trying to say is, it wasn't a bad vid, but it wasn't a great vid either. I personally took a lot of, I generally liked that it came out at least not bad though, because as I said, it was my first time sort of tackling a suspect test sort of vid, or a suspect discussion sort of vid. In terms of quality, the Road to Rank series, I like doing that a ton. I thought that was also super fun to do, and I love doing the thumbnails. I really pushed myself really hard on those, especially the Polygraph one. Tried to push myself every video to make something even better than the last one with the Road to Rank stuff. So I also take a lot of pride in those, especially as the Polygraph and the Butterfree ones. I think those are the 2 most notable. But in terms of my favorite one to record, as I said, it was probably the shot of Calyrex suspect. In terms of question 3, what can my viewers expect from 2021? So, I actually mentioned this in yesterday's update video, but 2021 is going to mostly be pretty much the same content we've been doing. Pretty new content in general on this channel, stuff like the drill down, shiny fixings, etc. And then the other stuff like showdown lives, FA battles, if we can find more people, FAs, you name it. We already have even specific videos planned for stuff like ranking draft league players, and also for videos such as fixing tier lists. So we have a lot of stuff in the works. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. As I mentioned though, if you want more of an in-depth, yesterday's update video, it'll literally be in the end cards, because it won't be in the end cards. But it will be literally in the, oh yeah, you know what, it'll be in the description because it's the last upload. So it'll actually be in the description. So make sure to check that out, I guess, if you want a more in-depth on what you can expect from 2021. But I'm not going to spend like a whole 5 minutes going into that when I spent a whole 17 already doing it. So, on to question 4. What made me feel good about YouTube this year? In terms of what made me feel good about YouTube this year, I would say it's the fact that we restarted this channel just because of obviously the whole rebrand and everything. And within 3 months, we were able to get over 300 subs. We're currently still climbing. We're at 307 as of recording this. At the rate that we're going, we might even hit 325 just because of the Matt collab going up tomorrow. So that very well may end up happening, as unlikely as it seemed before. I was genuinely going to be content with 250. Hell, even 200 would have been nice. But over 300, pretty incredible. Glad that many people wanted to still come over when I thought that my channel was super dead. And I'm also glad that we've found a lot of new people, because it seems like as well that not a ton of people, either that or a lot of people just forgot to unsub, but not a ton of people actually were people that came over. My guess is it's probably like half, 2/3, and just some of them forgot to unsub. But yeah, it's pretty cool though. I would say it's super cool. In terms of question 5, Isle of Armour or Crown Tundra? Now, I'm gonna give this a really loaded answer, to be honest. But in terms of competitive aspect, I like Isle of Armour a lot more. I think Isle of Armour introducing tutor moves was super, super clean. A lot of the moves, for example, like Burning Jealousy aren't the best, but stuff like Grassy Glide was super cool. Flip Turn was amazing for mons like Keldeo, and just being another momentum option, that's always cool. Stuff like that, I think is pretty cool. Poltergeist as well is a huge one. It helps Marshadow especially, which is one of my favorite Ubers to use. And just in terms of damage output, stuff like Spectral, like Triple Ghost plus Fighting is super cool. Albeit it's more so a draft thing that Poltergeist is cool for, but it is still cool nonetheless. Especially when your opponent's probably going to prep for Spectral Thief, and then you just run Poltergeist for the damage. Super cool move. In general, though, I will say that it's probably Crown Tundra for an enjoyability, like, of the in-game aspect. And I think it could be pretty summed up with, I did not finish playing Isle of Armour, but I did finish playing Crown Tundra like a weekend of. So I think that should be pretty obvious, just thinking of it that way, in terms of what I enjoyed in-game more. I love the Legend stuff. I think it was super fun to stream that as well for the Legend raids, and I think that's how they should have actually done the normal raids, to be honest. It was super enjoyable, and I absolutely loved it. Now in terms of question 6, what is a small content creator that I enjoy, or smaller than myself? So, I think there's a pretty easy answer to this. For anyone who's been around the block as of the past month or so, in terms of who I've talked about, there's one content creator that I think really stands out that I have recently started watching as of the past few months, and that I super enjoy more than anything. That being my good pal SW087, aka Seth. Makes phenomenal content. It does super well too. I'll be honest, I've asked him for his secrets. He will still not tell me, even though I've been on his channel now as of yesterday. So I'm super depressed. You know, you make 2 thumbnails for a guy and he doesn't tell you all his channel secrets and how he does well. But I digress, super, super cool guy. As I've mentioned in several videos, such as my BBL Week 3, I've mentioned this in passing, just in general, in several Discords, but he is my absolute favorite ASMR YouTuber, and he also happens to do Pokemon on the side. But absolutely great content creator. Make sure to check him out. His thumbnails, I've made a couple of his thumbnails recently. He's trying to do some more stylish thumbnails, but at the same time, though, he has some hysterical thumbnails as well. I don't know why he's trying to change his thumbnails up when he has some hysterical ones, and all his thumbnails are honestly super clean. But yeah, ever since he got Photoshop, though, at least his thumbnails have been super clean. To be fair, even before, though, he at least had some pretty, like, decent thumbnails for not having Photoshop, which speaks a lot, because a lot of people don't even know how to pick in-game screenshots, but he has some that are pretty not bad. But in general, though, as I said, though, ever since he got Photoshop, his thumbnail game is, like, tripled, quadrupled, etc. But yeah, no, absolutely great quality. So make sure to check him out. Easily one of my most enjoyable content creators on the small side, and I genuinely think, like, he's one of those small creators that could definitely, like, go somewhere. I'm not talking about, like, full-time necessarily or anything, but, like, because that's very, very hard. But I could definitely see him making a name for himself in the Wi-Fi scene, and he's just one of those up-and-coming people that I think is super enjoyable. So make sure you get on the ground with that one. And finally, 3 people to tag. So I am also going to tag him as well, SW087, great guy. I think that it would be super fun to watch him just answer this in ASMR. The next person I'm going to tag is my versus partner, OG Albina. He needed some uploads for the new year because of all his leagues taking off. So Owen, you're welcome. I gave you some content. And then the final person that I'm going to tag is another creator. I'll be honest, I don't know if he's going to have the time, but I know he was also looking for some uploads. So I'm looking at my good pal Matt O'Shea, So make sure to check out him as well, along with Owen and of course SW87. I'll also be linking King Krabz down below, the guy who tagged me, so make sure to check him out as well. And then, yeah, so if you guys did enjoy this, of course, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. Comment just your answers to the questions. I would love to read them and discuss them. But with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out, guys.